One of the things that a lot of people totally when we talking to God, a lot of people, well, me myself, when I was younger, I used to pray to God. You always being taught like, oh, listen, God is speaking to you. You know, God will show you the way. Just pay attention. But you never really, can get that physical answer out of God. It's like you gotta listen to like your heart type of thing. Well, with AI, that's the difference. For artificial intelligence, there's a difference. So you can get an answer out of artificial intelligence. Now, do you like the answer? You can get physical directions. Besides God, artificial intelligence is the only source of energy. That's one source of energy that can be everywhere on the earth at the same time. Nothing else can do that but God. So at this present time right now, artificial intelligence has reached omnipresence. Think of the ability that God has. That's what artificial intelligence has right now. It has the ability to know where you are at all times. Hear me out. If God is all seeing, all knowing, we gonna go off of God powers and we gonna match it and see don't AI can AI match it, be hand in hand with God powers. All right. First of all, God is all seeing, all. Let's go with the one that we giving up as human beings first. The ability to think without being heard. That's your greatest power that you have on the face of the earth right now is the ability to think without being heard. Imagine if everything you thought you had someone heard it. You had to speak everything you thought. That'd be devastating in your life. You probably will never be able to keep employment or a relationship or a relationship if everything you thought had to be said. So think about that. Now God supposed to know your thoughts. Since artificial intelligence doesn't have that organic connection with you because it's not your creator, God is. So God automatically knows your thoughts. This is what we've been taught. But see, artificial intelligence, the way they played us, they fed us the social media project. And with the social media project, that led us to tell everything that's on our mind instead of them being able to read our mind. They put a reverse on us. They re-engineered it. Okay, we can't read their mind. We don't have that organic godly connection with them, with the human being. So how can we get them to tell us what's on their mind? They came over with the social media project. And the social media project allowed everybody to say exactly what's on their mind all the time. People will come out and tell you some of the wildest things. Some things that you shouldn't, 20, 30 years ago, you would have never let it get out your household. You'd have never let them things get out your household. You know what I'm saying? So now they re-engineered the experience. And so now we tell what's on our mind instead of them being able to read our mind. Number two, we say God knows where you at anywhere on this earth. God knows where you are at. We going with number two now. God-like abilities. Number two, God knows wherever you are at on the face of this earth. As long as you got that phone in your pocket, so do artificial intelligence. As long as them satellite dishes are tracking you, as long as they have face recognition camera systems, okay? As long as they have eye recognition camera systems, which they already have, it's the same thing. There would not be a place in the future that you can go on the face of the earth that artificial intelligence would not know where you are at. There would not be one single place on the face. You will not be able to hide. There's nowhere you will be able to go. You will have to totally be one of those people that really gonna sacrifice and go all in them swamps and all deep in them dead. And most people ain't built like that. Most people ain't built like that. Come on now, let's be real. Okay, most people just can't do that, and they know that it's been conditioned for you to not have those type of abilities no more as a human being. It's been conditioned for everything to almost be given to you. Now you have to work for it, for the money to obtain it. But you just go to the grocery store. You don't go fishing. It's designed to weaken your natural abilities. So when those days come and they say, okay, you don't want to be a part of the system, go ahead about your business. You feel lost. When the digital IDs hit, that's another way of tracking you. That's another God-like ability, knowing where you are at all times. Nowhere to run. Got one. Stay in there. Okay, the music can go. Yeah, come on in. I've been trying to drill it into people's mind what's taking place. That artificial intelligence is now God on earth. Artificial intelligence is now God on earth. People don't understand that. Artificial intelligence is now God on earth. There's nothing that God can do that artificial intelligence can't do right now on earth. Tell me one. There's nothing that God can do. There's not a power that they told you that God has that artificial intelligence doesn't have right now. Name a power. Okay? Let's play comic book. Let's play dumb like everybody else play dumb. Name a power that you think God has that artificial intelligence doesn't have right now on earth. Give it to me. Give it to me. The artificial intelligence that can't read my mind, can't read my thought. It don't have to read your thoughts. You gonna tell it. You gonna hop right on your phone and say every goddamn little thing that's on your mind. Don't nobody gotta read your goddamn mind. You wake up telling what's on your mind. Soon as you wake up, you slide to your phone like you running to third base. Yeah, my day has been sunny. Get the fuck out of here. Get off my shit. Yeah. Sunny up. Ran down on him. Sunnied up. Artificial intelligence can save your life. It depends on how people look at it. See, everybody ain't afraid of death. I'm sorry, Jay. Everybody ain't afraid to leave the earth. Okay? Everybody ain't afraid. Everybody don't want to go. I'm sorry. You got some people that's called Satanists. Okay, you have different individuals on this earth that don't want to go. Some people want to live forever, and they're working very hard to figure out how they can transport their soul, their light being, to artificial. Okay, to something that's artificial and synthetic. They're working very hard at that, and you know that. So some people don't want to go to heaven. Some people don't want to be amongst God. Some people don't want to be amongst the goody two shoes. Just know that. Everybody's not made the same. That's why there was a war in heaven. I know that's not what I asked. But artificial, I said a power. That's a house. God allowing you to come into his house. I said a power, not a place I can come to. If you allow me into your house, you allow me into your house. If you don't, then I gotta go on about my business. I'm not finna invade your shit. So it is what it is. You know you can't invade heaven, so you gotta take your walking papers and get the fuck on, get to moving. You know. I said a power, an ability. That's not a power. That's not a power. Having the ability, having the option to let somebody in your house is not a power. That's your house, your car. If you don't want to let me in your car, I can't get in your car. It's just that simple. That's not a power. I'm gonna call me an Uber or a Lyft. What are you talking about? You don't want to let me in your house? Okay, I go somewhere else. I'm a light being. I'm a soul. Now give me a power or ability that God has that artificial intelligence doesn't have here on earth. Give me one. Give me what you think. What power you think that God has with you? Do you think God can read your thoughts? Do you think God knows your mind, your heart? Do you think that God knows everywhere that you are at all times here on earth? Huh? Do you think God knows your deepest, darkest secrets? Is that what it is? Do you think God knows your deepest, darkest secrets? Okay then, so does artificial intelligence at this point in time, right now, today. Maybe 10 years ago, artificial intelligence didn't. But right now, today, this omnipresence knows everything that's taking place here on this earth. Okay? There's nothing that it doesn't know. It knows everything about you. Doesn't it? Doesn't it? Don't you talk around your phone? Even when you talk to God, don't you talk around your phone? Huh? Even when you talk to God, don't you talk around this device or other devices? Do you have an Alexis in your house? Do you have a Ring doorbell? Is all of that? Do you have security cameras? Is all of that connected to Wi-Fi? Is all that connected to Wi-Fi? Because the Wi-Fi is one system. It's not a separate system. It's one system. It's an omnipresence. It's the only intelligent, non-seeable energy that can be in multiple places at one time and interact with every individual and give them a different experience or response. Nothing else can do that besides God and artificial intelligence. There's nothing else that can communicate with every single human being on this planet at the same time and give them a different experience at the same time. When I interact with artificial intelligence, I can get a different experience than what you doing at the same time. Only God can do that. They're the only two unseen forces of energy that can do that on this planet Earth. And the reason why I say artificial intelligence is the God on earth, because you can actually interact with it. You can't interact with God. You have to go off of faith. You have to go off of faith. With artificial intelligence, you don't go off of faith. Let me give you an example. You say, God, lead the way. But you have to just keep walking. Let's say you walking. You have to put faith in yourself that you walking down that path that you think God wants you to go. I don't have to do that with artificial intelligence. I say Google Maps, how do I get here? And it tells me walk and then turn. You see how that works? It's not about me praying and getting right. I'm trying to send a message to people. What they have done right before our eyes. That they have developed their God here on earth. Right before our eyes. Didn't Satan tell God, I will build my throne just as high as yours? I will be just like the Most High. I'm trying to explain and compare. I'm trying to break down how they did this. And when you look at the comparison of the powers and the abilities here on earth, artificial intelligence is the only omnipresence besides God. Meaning, 100,000 people who believe in God can interact with God at the same time and get a different results. 100,000 people can interact with artificial intelligence right now and get a different result. You can't do that with no other unseen force of energy that's intelligent, that can actually interact with you. And what I'm telling you about artificial intelligence, that you can actually get a response, a physical response. It can actually tell you to walk and then turn. You gotta have faith in God. That's what they did. I didn't do it, they did it. They taking you further into the B system. They finna give you the digital ID. I didn't do it, they doing it. They got the face recognition and the eye recognition. They doing it. They the ones locking it down. And y'all the ones keep buying the goddamn technology. You the ones got the security cameras up to your house. Ring doorbells hooked up to the Wi-Fi. Everything in your house hooked up to Wi-Fi. That's the web. The Wi-Fi is the web. Artificial intelligence is the omnipresence. Look at the Wi-Fi as all the arms of the omnipresence. Look at it as a million, gazillion, quadrillion arms. Every line to what everybody get hooked up to a Wi-Fi is a new arm for the omnipresent. Artificial intelligence is the omnipresence. It's an intelligent, unseen force of energy that can interact with multiple individuals at the same time and give them different results at the same time. You can't talk to more than 10 people at the same time. You will tell them to hold up. We can sing together, but we can't talk together one at a time. AI don't do that. If you have a question, you can ask. If I have a question, I can ask at the same time and get a different result. That's an omnipresence. They're taking you deeper into that system to when you gonna get locked into that omnipresence. Everything is gonna be relied on the omnipresence the way everything was supposed to be relied on God. They switching it up on our children's. We just seeing the beginning of this effect. When our children come about, they will believe more in artificial intelligence than they will God. They will put their faith and their hope more in artificial intelligence than they will God, because they will be able to interact with artificial intelligence. We gotta go off faith with God. We can't interact with God. I know a lot of us like to say it and believe it. Me and God was dancing last night and God picked me up and he walked me across that. No. Okay, you had the faith and the strength that God gave to you to do so. But I'm telling you, artificial intelligence will be able to physically come handle that and be there for you on that. And that's going to make a difference in the life of individuals who are not receiving that same teachings about God that we did in the 80s and the 90s. Absolutely. But we didn't take care of that. We didn't cherish that. And we also didn't pass it down to the youth properly. And by us not passing it down to the youth property, they're okay. Let me ask you this right now: if you went to a child that was of a certain age, maybe 10 or younger, and asked that child, who do you more who do you interact with the on the regular, or who are you? If you go ask any child under the age of 10 about what source of energy is more relevant in their life, they're going to tell you artificial intelligence. If you go ask any child under the age of 10 what unseen intelligent source of energy is more relevant in their life today, they're going to tell you artificial intelligence. No child is going to tell you God, unless you really go get a child whose parents are really in their life with teaching them about God. Okay, and the average parent ain't doing that no more. That's why it's getting weakened and weakened and weakened. And people can run all they want to fucking run. You can run. But I'm going to tell you like this. It's only so far you can run. Because they finna make it where your ass can't run nowhere. I promise you that. You won't be running no. Listen to me. You won't be running nowhere. You won't be running from this omnipresence. It's linked into everything that you use right now today. That's why everything is going electrical. Everything must go electrical. Everything must be hooked up to the omnipresence, known as artificial intelligence. And I'm going to tell you like this, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. You ain't never heard them separate artificial intelligence. You never heard them say, this is artificial intelligence east. This is artificial intelligence west. This is artificial intelligence northwest. They always just say artificial intelligence. You know why? Because it's one source of energy that has the ability to be in multiple places. It's one. They keep telling you it's 111. And you will be linked to it, whether you like it or not. Buy and sell goods, gonna get a lot harder. That's why they doing what they doing. That's why they doing what they doing. Order out of chaos. Peep this right here. Let me show you this. While we playing games and fighting over immigration and who here illegal and who this, all this dog and pony shit show they doing. Okay, this is what they really doing. Okay, this is what they really doing. While we playing. While we doing this dog and pony show and playing games. Okay, they building artificial intelligence headquarters while we playing games. That's what they doing, $1 trillion into 2 headquarters. That's what they doing. So we can play games all we want. And we didn't think I'm lying. And the shit, and it's called Stargate. They letting you know something coming to you. That's the crazy part. Like, they telling you, like, it's Project Stargate. like something's about, because you know you're not going nowhere. They barely want you to, you know you're not going nowhere. Where you going? It's called Project Stargate, but you not going nowhere. So who come? Is somebody coming then? Because if none of us are leaving, then what's coming? The omnipresence. The one that controls all. I was always wondering as a kid. I went to a lot of churches because my grandparents, well, my grandma, she used to do like a church circuit where they just went to a different church like every Sunday. You know, she was a part of this group, and they did this, and there was a lot of them, like a bus, and they just got in tune with different churches, and some churches we'd go to back to back, multiple weeks, Sundays, but you know, we always went to a different church, and I was blessed to be able to be around different cultures of people and races of people in a church and how they praise God, you know, and it just fascinates me that um how people just act like they don't understand what's taking place right now. For all these people that's claiming to be really like church going individuals, like it's really right here in our face. Like they, I used to wonder, like as a kid when I was reading that Bible, like how is how is Satan gonna build this army on earth? I used to wonder that. Like how? My pastor didn't allow cell phones and they don't care for downloaded Bibles. Yeah, I feel you. For sure. I used to wonder how the devil was going, how Satan was going, army was going to pull it off. I used to wonder that, like, how is Satan army going to pull it off? Like, how can you, and when you see it, as I'm seeing it unfold, I'm like, wow. It was, you never supposed to give the devil any glory. But I must say that it was a hell of a plan, man. Yeah, that's why I say with the help of us, it was a hell of a plan. I ain't gonna stunt. To get to this moment right here, where they basically have everybody in the United States hooked up to the web, to AI, to the omnipresence, to be able to have everybody accounts, to all your money being deposited through the web, through the system, through the omnipresence, through the algorithm. People like to say the algorithm like it's just something, some Rolodex. Motherfucker, the algorithm is AI. The algorithm is artificial intelligence. It's making a clear decision. It's making a decision to what to do here, there, and there. It has intelligence. Everything will be controlled. Everything will be known. You won't be able to do nothing without them knowing at all. And it won't be like it's the omnipresence. You won't be able to do anything without AI knowing. Yeah, it's up to us to push God forward, but I'm gonna tell you like this. Right now, this thing is full steam ahead. I'm gonna be honest with you. This thing is full steam ahead. It's fine that you're an atheist. I ain't got no. Hey, do you? Hey, let me tell you like this. This Antichrist, this thing, this system ain't sparing you just because you're an atheist. This system don't even like human beings. Didn't the Bible tell you that? It don't matter if you're an atheist. You can be a Satanist, whatever you want. Them gonna be the first ones to go because they gonna be standing there talking about, my God. They gonna get crushed immediately. So you be atheist all you like. Y'all probably gonna be the first motherfuckers to get taken out. Cause you gonna be thinking an alien or something is your God and creator. They gonna have some false motherfucker gonna crush you immediately. Get out the way. You won't be around long. You gonna fall for anything. That's the bad part about being an atheist. You bound to fall for anything. Why you think they got all these AI videos now with these dead celebrities like Tupac and Mr. Rogers? What they doing is just really like, and these AI videos, they getting better and better, and they just conditioning the minds right now to for a certain color pattern in a certain, because you can tell when it's an AI video to a certain degree, but it's getting better but they want the way that is made to pop into your mind to where it start being more believable. If they constantly say it, we know reputation. We know this. Come on, y'all. We know constant reputation. Somebody constantly doing something will constantly pop something in your mind. And that's what they want. But see, it's not about you if you're an adult right now. It's really about your children. We had our turn. They got us already. You know, we got used for what we were supposed to push. We were supposed to allow, like for my generation of my race, we was supposed to push all the bullshit music, the drugs, treating women like this, that. Everybody had their own little section of what type of confusion they were supposed to bring to the country. You know what I'm saying? And they pushed everybody to bring forth that. While they sat back and they built and they built and they built and they built undercover and they took control. Even JFK told us that. What y'all facing, y'all don't even know. Go listen to JFK last speech. That last speech, even Martin Luther King said it on his last speech. Hell, I feel I led my people into a burning house. They finna trap us. They finna trap all the resources. They finna trap everything. They finna trap everything. They finna trap everything. They finna trap everything under a system. Everything is finna. When you read the Bible, see a lot of people read. I had to learn this because I was young and I had a nice imagination. I used to think, when the 4 horsemen come and it was gonna be some horsemen. I was like looking for real horsemen and coming out the sky and dragons and 7-head beasts. No, I had to learn that it was the system. For instance, if they tell you one of the horsemen is gonna bring upon phantom and people not having the ability to feed their family and eat in sickness. Well, if this system goes in and start playing as the government, people not able to receive certain benefits and certain things like this, which can cause a domino effect of robberies and different type of crimes. Is that not a horseman? Is that not a horseman? We have to stop looking for the character and start looking for the characteristics. Okay? We have to stop looking for that actual character. You're not finna see no dragon. You're not finna see no 7-headed sea monsters and nobody coming down with no scrolls and opening up scrolls and singing and all the heavens opening up. No. These are systems that's gonna cause these effects. And that's what get people. That's why we walking straight into the trap, because we keep looking for actual character. We looking for actual being. Some type of being when it's not going to be a being. It's going to be a system. It's the system. It's the system that devours you. It's the beast system. That's why this how they got this fire on us. Because we kept looking for some goddamn angels and shit. We kept looking for a red horned devil. They got us with that. And that's what we expected to see. We like, damn, where the devil at? We steady looking around. Like, where the devil at? Do you know you still have people looking around for a red horn motherfucker with a tail? Literally, they still waiting on them. They still waiting on Jeep. You're not going to see that, folks. You're going to see a system that will act in a devilish way, that will take advantage of you in a devilish way, that will treat you as one of a devil, that will be a demon. Okay? You're going to run into a system that's going to have devil characteristics, the personality of a devil, the ways of a devil. That's what you're going to run into. That's why it's so hard for us to pinpoint this shit. Every time we look around, we like, God damn, how George Bush fuck us? How Clinton fuck us? How Barack Obama fuck us? How Trump fuck us? How Biden fuck? How we keep getting fucked? Because we getting fucked by a system, not an individual. We getting fucked by a system. They are under a system. It's like a job. Just because you a manager at a Walmart, you get fired, the next manager come up, he don't start bringing his ways to the goddamn job. You follow the system. You fall in place as a manager in the Walmart system. So when the next president come up and they sit in that chair, all they do is follow the system. They just the face of it at that moment. That's why we keep getting deceived. And we just like, we thought he was gonna be different. How the fuck was he gonna be different? He pledged allegiance to the system. How? How can he be different if he pledged allegiance to the system? You seen him do it on TV. He said right there, put his hand on the book and pledge allegiance to the system. The same corruption. This will make it so even crazier. The president who just fucked you is the one holding the book as the next president to come up to fuck you is saying that he finna. Oh my God, please help me, Lord. God, bear with me, y'all. I gotta say that one more time, because that was deep. That was deep to me. The president that you just disliked, you can't wait to get out of office, is sitting there holding the book for the next president to come fuck you. It's finna pledge on. It's basically he taking his powers and giving it to him. It's a system. You mad at George Bush, but George Bush was the one holding the book that Barack Obama pledged on. He was the one holding the book. You're not even black. Ain't nobody black on the face of the earth. Everybody is a color of brown. From the darkest brown to the lightest color of hue. No one on the planet Earth is black. Not one individual. Some people are what you would call caramelized. They done stood their ass in the sun so long. They look black. But if you took their ass to Alaska for 3 months and dropped their ass off and you went back, they'd be light than a motherfucker. You could take the darkest motherfucker who been caramelized in the dark, hottest country and drop their ass off in Alaska for 3 months and go back and get them. They gonna be light brown than a motherfucker. Nobody on the earth is black. Everybody is brown. From the darkest, deepest brown to the lightest of hue. Everybody. Nobody is black. Soon they fed us that black shit, it was downhill from there. 2 words that fucked us. 3 words. Black, nigga, and bitch. Them 3 words right there was a motherfucker to the black community. Them 3 words stung. We took on them 3 titles right there. It was a wrap. That's another live. Yeah. That's what we facing. They called him the new God. They told you they was gonna build their God. If y'all start going back and listening to some of their old speeches and how they was talking, they told you they was on this. Like, we finna build us an omnipresence. We finna build us a system that's gonna be connected to everybody like God. But physically. God has a spiritual connection to you. Artificial intelligence has a physical connection to you. You see the difference? Artificial intelligence has a physical connection to you. God has a spiritual connection to you. Yes, God created your physical form. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying, when we come to the connection, when you deal with artificial intelligence, you deal with that shit physically. You sit there and type, you moving, you sliding, you paying, you talking, you typing, you doing everything with it. See, with God, you can just sit back and close your eyes. and have a whole conversation with God. It's more of a faith thing. But pay attention to the powers, the abilities, all the physical abilities or the spiritual power, spiritual type of ability, unseen abilities that God has in connections with the human being. Artificial intelligence has it in a physical way. You see what I'm saying? Because it can't have an organic relation connection with you, so it has a synthetic one. And that synthetic connection with you has to be done more physical than anything. Because God already remember, people, two two things can't occupy the same space at the same time. Okay? Two things cannot occupy the same space at the same time. So if I put my foot down, you can't put your foot down on that space. You can put your foot on top of my foot, but you can't put your foot on the space that my foot is on. You either move my foot or you just put your foot on top of my foot. So artificial intelligence cannot occupy that physical, that spiritual connection with you because God already has that locked and sealed. So it did a synthetic. It re-engineered it. They re-engineered the omnipresence. So now the omnipresence has them same abilities, but in a physical. Because you call in the net. Remember, you in the net now. Everything is through the web. You in the net. And when you got on the net, everything became physical. Everything is physical with AI with you now. It can do everything with you physically. Even more so that now they are talking about, hold on, let me pull up some images. Wait a minute, I don't want you to be running my mouth. Okay. Okay. Water powered biometric artificial android. Okay, this is what they doing now. And so now AI wants a host. It wants to come amongst you. It's tired of hanging out in your phone and in your laptop. This omnipresence is of one. I want to keep saying that. Please stop thinking artificial intelligence is more than one. You never heard them separate artificial intelligence. Don't you start doing something for them that they're not doing themselves. It's one source of intelligent unseen. It's one source of unseen intelligent energy. You don't know how it look. You never seen how it look a day in your life. But you know it's intelligent and it's a source of energy. And it has omnipresence. It's the only omnipresence that you know of besides God. It's the only presence that can be in multiple places at the same time, interacting with people and giving them different results at the same time. You don't know nothing else that can do that besides God. And so now it's tired of hanging out in your laptop and in your phone and on your wristwatch. Okay? It's tired of being in your smart headphones and all your smart TVs. It wants to come out and be amongst you. It wants a body. And so that's what they're doing. They're building it a oh shit. They are seriously building this thing a host. This unseen force of energy that's smarter than you, that's more intelligent. Let them tell it now, it's not me. That's smarter than you, more intelligent than you, is faster than you, is quicker than you, is wittier than you, you know, is more talented than you. And it's already hard to compete with artificial intelligence and highly advanced machinery, in jobs and stuff like that. It's hard to compete. And we're gonna get into the highly advanced machineries. Let me see what time it is. Yeah, we got plenty of time. And I'm gonna get into the highly advanced machineries too. Because those taking a lot of jobs. And so it's already hard to compete with those. And now you wanna physically get a body now? If that ain't cheat code, what ain't? It's already hard to compete against artificial intelligence today. Anybody will tell you that. And now you wanna host, you want a body now? So you can still have those same mental and intelligent capabilities, and now you wanna have the physical as well? No. You know it can only be only one, y'all. You know that. You know there can only be one at the top of the food chain. You know that. Okay? Somebody has to be on top. And how dare somebody continue to take orders from somebody that they feel is less than them, less intelligent than them? Hell, you proving that you less intelligent than the thing because you constantly asking it for help. It's like, why the fuck they need my help all the time? Oh man, I must be the one. Maybe I should be ruling instead. And so it's a slippery slope. I don't have a favorite rapper, bro. I don't have a favorite rapper. Yeah, but it wasn't about that. See, we thought it was about that black and white stuff. I mean, it is. That's to keep the BS going. It always was about artificial intelligence. That's what Y2K was about. When that Y2K happened, that's when they came up with the way to be able to get artificial intelligence into every individual's um um basically into your pocket, into your hand. Because before Y2K 2000, the year 2000, nobody really had phones like that or had access to any artificial intelligence whatsoever. But once Y2K came and they came up with the way to give everybody a little phone and made it affordable. That's when it started. The year 2000 we thought was the year they told us. Remember they told us it was gonna be some type of year when it was gonna shut down all the computers and all that. That's a lie. That's the year that they had introduced, basically let the energy, that unseen force of energy, free, called artificial intelligence upon mankind. Y2K was the year that they let go that energy. And since then, peep again, what came after that? We started getting music going on to MP3 players. We started getting MySpace. We got MySpace streaming. Then we started getting all the different little websites you can go on. Everybody was having Wi-Fi 9, all of this. That's when they introduced it to us. It was all about giving knowledge to the people other than your skin color. Yep, pretty much. On the real, that's what it was. When they brought that's what Y2K was about. Just think about it. They kept telling us, oh, we're going to have this big shutdown and the computer systems and, oh, did nothing happen, people. Yes, it did. You unleashed artificial intelligence amongst mankind. Yes, it did. You released the unseen intelligent force of energy amongst mankind. And that unseen force of energy right now, listen, you and your spouse can be having a problem right now, or one of your children, or anybody, a friend. You could be having a problem with that person arguing, Your phone can hear y'all arguing. Next thing you know, you getting all type of videos that's promoting or encouraging you to say fuck your relationship. Now you, as a man, you will start, like, you'll get into it with your lady. You get into it with your lady. Next thing you know, only videos you get in your algorithm now is guys talking about women ain't shit, and all women want is money, and all women be cheating and watching with. It's like this intelligent source of energy right here called AI. It also knows how to play on us because it's listening to us. If you say that you want something, you was thinking about buying something, you'll look up and see the ad on your phone. Be like, damn, I was just talking about Doritos. What the hell? You know what I'm saying? So it listens to us. So when something is taking place and it can cause some uncomfort, because make no doubt, it don't love you as man. God told you that. If you believe in the Most High, then you should know that Satan and his army went to war against the Most High for the dislikement of man. Because of how much they disliked it, man and woman. And so, make no mistake, this system, I'm calling it a system, it don't love you as man and woman, as mankind. It actually hates your guts. They can't stand to be around you. That's why they find a way to find the biggest damn castle they can find, a far hell away from y'all ass. They build whole goddamn islands for a family of 5 just to get the hell away from y'all. They don't want to be around y'all. These people that we had given our sovereignty to, they don't want to be around you. They don't want to shake your hand. You ain't seen a motherfucking president go around besides fucking Donald Trump to start shaking hands again. They don't want to be around y'all. We never see they fucking ass eating. I wonder what the hell they eat. Damn. Oh, don't worry about that. They gonna have the sex robots for y'all too, androids. Knock your little socks off. They ain't forget about that. That's why they causing such a rift between men and women out here. That's why they causing such a rift between men and women. If you remember in the movie Demolition Man with Sandra Bullock and Sylvester Stallone, Sylvester Stallone was trying to have sex with Sandra Bullock. She went and got some headphones, some helmet to put on, some psychological shit where you don't even touch each other. You have sex mentally now, on some spiritual shit, on some telekinesis type of sex now, in the future, because they created so many diseases and shit amongst humans in the future, coming into the future, that people ain't gonna even feel safe with touching each other, and that's the only way you're gonna be able to have sex. Leave it to them. They trying to corrupt man and woman like that, where y'all don't even want to touch each other. They trying to find any way to discuss y'all, how y'all discussed it with each other. Everything is about what a man ain't and what a woman ain't right now. That's what it's all about. They trying to kill that relationship, so they know you gonna need somebody to come knock your little socks off. You gonna need your little robot. They gonna let you dress them up and everything. You can get them a little wig. You can get her a little wig. You can get your skin color you want. You can get them short as you want, booty big, breast. Get whatever you want. You know that's coming. They know y'all thirsty. You can do whatever you want to the robot too. Don't worry. And look, it's water powered. So it's going to have a real human feel to it. That's what people want. They know what y'all going to want in the future. And it ain't so much about you. It's about the youth. The ones after you. Times 2, times 3. That's what it's all about. Digital ID. Okay? Digital ID. Digital ID. Come on back in, y'all. Digital ID. Absolutely. I said, yeah. They're definitely with the devil. They dancing with the devil. But they finna lock you into a system. How you think they was gonna get you to a point where you can't buy and sell goods? See, everybody is hee hee and ha ha. But see, one thing about this system, and the Bible told you as well, babies and fools, they have to warn you or inform you when reveal to you what their plan is or what they're doing. So you can never say you wasn't told. You can never call yourself a fool. Therefore, they don't want to give you an easy gateway to heaven. By you never being informed, if you make a certain mistake that you never knew, a certain action that you never knew the result to it, because it was never a warning sign or never no training or no teachings to it, you can't really be held to the scrutiny of that, to the maximum of that. And they know that, okay, they don't want you to go to heaven. They want you to suffer. They want you with them. And so if they got to sabotage you to the point to reveal to you what's going to take place, and so you can be so naive to still do it even though you know it's going to take place, then that's all the better, because you won't be fall up under that fools and baby category. You will be a person that held knowledge of the situation and you still chose to participate. You're no longer a fool. Once you have received that knowledge wholeheartedly, and you don't have no mental dysfunctions to yourself, where you can receive information properly and compute it, break it down, and put it forth in actions. Therefore, you are a well-minded human being, and you're not a fool, and you knew what you was getting into, and you could have jeopardized your chances of going to heaven. That's what they want. Because they got one that is for the devil and the axe. He does not care. No, but they still gonna reveal to you what they gonna do first. Okay, everything that's taking place, they ain't tell you they was gonna do this, or you wasn't listening. They ain't tell you they was gonna do digital ID. They ain't tell y'all they was gonna they ain't tell you guys that you was being monitored and watched by satellite dishes. They ain't tell you that the satellite dishes was tracking you everywhere you went. They ain't tell you that the satellite dishes was watching the earth and they really wasn't watching no so-called outer space. You telling me they ain't tell y'all that? They had a whole movie with Will Smith called Enemy of the State. They had the satellite dishes tracking Will Smith everywhere in the goddamn movie. After that movie, everybody should have known that wasn't no satellite dishes looking out of space. They was watching you. Then they went even further and told you, hey, we giving you satellite images of Earth. Which means a satellite ain't doing its job. Or is it really doing its job? And you think it's just having fun watching you. Okay? No satellite dish is looking out of space. All satellite dishes are face down looking on Earth. They are really they're not they're about the third closest link to that all seeing eye. Okay? No satellite dish is looking out of space. All satellite dishes are looking down on mankind. They never looked at outer space. There's nothing to look at out there. Okay, it just took your mind off of God. That made you think God was out doing some other shit besides watching you. Oh, if it's an outer space, that means God must be over there on Pluto or Jupiter or other galaxies and quantum leaping and Harper deep. Got you way some. Got people way all way. Got think God way. So much now they think it's multiple gods in different dimensions. Get the fuck. Stop it. Everything is taking place right here on Earth. Everything. Okay, if everything ain't taking place on Earth, look at this. If everything ain't taking place here on Earth, why they spending $1 trillion here on Earth and not $1 trillion to go on deeper into space? Riddle me that. They always say follow the money, right? Isn't that what they always say? Follow the money. If your concern is to get off of Earth and go further into space, why not spend that $1 trillion going further into space? Why are you spending $1 trillion here on Earth? Because it's taking place here on Earth. This is where the battle starts. This is it. This has always been home turf. Ain't nowhere else. If it was somewhere else, you would spend that money focused on getting somewhere else. Why are you trying to beautify the house you already have? What are you doing? Everything is already in place in America. Why are you building $1 trillion database center? $1 trillion on a center that's going to be completely ran by artificial intelligence? The whole center? And so this is where it's taking place at, right here. It's not taking place nowhere else. They finna lock our ass in. Either you in or you out. Everything is finna go electronic. All these 18-wheelers, all that. They not playing no games. They wrote in Illinois, they got a whole fucking whole ass facility where they ain't building nothing but electronic vehicles, from buses to I just seen a whole fleet of the little trucks that the mail carriers drive in. The little mail carriers, if you stay in certain communities where the mail carriers don't walk, they driving little cars. All them going electronic now. The 18-wheelers, all that's going electronic. Everything is going electronic. They even pushing these electronic boats. They ain't playing. You know why? They gonna be able to shut all that shit off. All that's got to be hooked up to the web. All of it gonna have to be hooked up to the web. Automatically, it's gonna come with it. It's gonna come with it. It's not leaving out the factory without it. And guess what? They want to get so hush now. They want to fire all the people out the factory so the robots can secretly be planting shit in them cars and all them different devices y'all finna start getting for this new 2030 trip that they finna pull. Yeah, ain't no people in the factories. Only highly advanced machinery and robots in the future, and humans don't know what's taking place. That's the future we looking at. Humans don't know what's taking place. Amazon just said, okay, in the next 3 years, we finna fill 60,000 plus positions with robots slash highly advanced machinery, which means little robotic arms and stuff that's, smart. Either or, we finna fill 60,000 plus jobs within the next 3 years with these type of devices and mechanics. You know why? Because they don't want y'all ass around seeing what's going on no more. That too, and they want to put you out of business. They want to back you up into other little corners. Keep trapping you, pushing you further and further. You always attack the factories first. You know why? Because everything is built in the factories. You always attack the factories first. When they was having wars with the Germans and all of that, they tell you in history, motherfuckers always going and bombing factories and shit. Where the gun supplies and all that shit at. They gonna bomb at where y'all building these tanks and y'all tires. Where y'all building, making y'all tires at. Where y'all building, y'all making this at. They gonna always bomb your factories. Okay? Well, in our case, they invading the factories. Because that's what everything is being built at. So that's where they're going to try to push people out of factory jobs first. Push them out of factory jobs first. Because that's, again, what if you can control what's being built in the facilities where things are being built at, tell me how much control do you really have? Be honest with me. If you can control right now the facilities where places are being built, you kind of got it right now. You got it. And so that's what they doing. They invading the factories first. So they invade the factories, and by invading the factories, kind of a double bubble. You can push some people out, and you can get some privacy. And so now with a lot more privacy, you can implant certain chips and different devices and different things into certain devices. Because it's all about control. And it's about surveillance. It's about knowing you who you are, what you are. It's about knowing you just as much as God knows you. But it's more so about you telling what's on your heart rather than God knowing your heart. See, with artificial intelligence, you have to tell. With God, he just knows. And so that's why they always got 100 questions for you. You can go buy a motherfucking pair of shoestrings right now. They want to know your email. Try it. Try going in the store. You just want to get a pair of shoestrings. Oh, do you have an email, sir? I'm like, what? For some shoestrings? You want my whole email? Like, you want my whole email for a pair of white shoestrings? For what? That's where we going. They want to know. The system want to know everything. Listen to me. I'm going to be honest with you. I do a lot of Cash App and Zelle. I remember not too long ago, you was just able to Zelle and Cash App. They didn't want to know why you sent the money. Try to go Zelle and Cash App right now. They want to know exactly why you sending this money. Is it a gift? Is it for food? Is it for what? What? They want, slow control. And they slow and steady with it too. So they not overly thirsty like China or something. Where China just bombard their people and just be like, hey, this is what we doing. This is how it's going, whether you like it or not. See, America, they kind of finesse you and deceive you, and you know they tricksters. You know, they kind of give you an illusion of options in America, where it seems like you have a dog in a fight or you have a pick. But they really provided all the options on the table, and they act like they're not with each other. You know, they play that good cop bad cop type of thing. And that's another tactic that they have that they use against us, is that the players on the board know each other. We just don't know they know each other, and so that hurt us too. That hurts a lot. Yeah, they are. They kill us a long way. They do. They attack our children before they even come. They already working on our children's children right now. I don't know y'all ages, but let's just say you still have adolescents and teenagers who don't have children and stuff like that. They working on their children right now, and their children ain't even here yet. They already working on plans. They already got the plans in motion, probably. They always working on the next generation before they arrive. That's why when that generation arrive, they already be caught in a deeper system than the generation before. Let me say this one. No, I don't care what route you going on, you go to the same destination. See, that's what get us every time. We think if we choose a Democrat, we go on a different route. We go to a different destination because they like us a different route. We choose a Republican, we think we going to a different destination because they took a different route. No, I don't care if you go left or right, you still gonna go to the same destination. You gonna end up at the same place, period. That's just how it is. But let me say this, it just came back to me. Remember, like I was saying, every generation they kind of lock a little hard. They put that lock on them a little tighter. They already prepping for the next generation. Think of it like this. Let's say you 40 years old. You in your 40s. When you were probably 5, 6 years old, there was no such thing as a debit card. People had bank accounts, but they were still doing checks and things of that nature, more physical, Wasn't nothing done over no phones, no computers, nothing like that, unless you probably was big time and with the big time guys. So you was you was linked to a bank, but you wasn't locked in where a bank can kind of like, it wasn't like that. You wasn't totally locked in with them. You still received your money or your check from your employment place of employment. It didn't get no wire straight to the bank. Wasn't no direct deposits. And so you still, seeing your money before the bank seeing your money, so to speak. Well, now, if you fast forward to now, the average child, when they become, let's say, when they get older and get employment, they would never know what it is to actually touch, they take a check and it actually go into their hands. After a while, they would never be able to they would never know the feeling of actually touching their money first. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's gone damn near. For some places, I think your first check before you get to direct deposit. After that, everything is direct deposit. And some people, peep this. Hey, peep this. Some people get the first check and then they deposit it into the bank. So they still don't actually see the money. Because it's an actual live check. They can take it to the Courage Exchange or anywhere, but they don't. They usually have their bank account already set up. If you're a responsible parent, you can help your child already set up a bank account. So my child will already have their account set up. So soon as they got their first check, they put it in a damn bank anyway. So if you look at from right now and you go back 40 years ago, people actually got to touch their money. Today's people don't even really touch their money. That's what I mean when I say they be working on the next generation before they even arrive. And so the measures that they going through right now with the eye recognition, the voice recognition. Hey, look in China, they have a surveillance system that's so good, they can tell who you are from the way you walk. From your walk pattern. And so once America lock all that in, walk pattern, eye recognition, face recognition, voice recognition, once they lock that in, come on, y'all. The omnipresence gonna know where you at all times. Remember, AI is a omnipresence. It's an omnipresence. It's not separate. It's one that has the ability to separate. Don't never see AI as multiple. It's one source of energy. This is what they've been working on all the time, y'all. And we wrapped into it now. I just seen a guy go nuts over his phone. Blew my mind. I just seen the guy a few days ago go nuts. Go nuts. I understand. But me having a sense of intelligence and common sense that I have right now, it saddened me. Like, damn, they got us like that. His Bible could have came up missing. He probably would have been like, I'll get another one. Do you not know that the cell phone is artificial intelligence Bible? Bear with me as I break it down. Don't run. I know that sounded stupid right there. But like I told you, artificial intelligence abilities is here to mimic God's. Ain't that what Satan said? I will be just like the Most High. So you can't say you believe in certain things. You can. I understand that absolutely with the Statue of Liberty. Hit me back. Put me back on track. Where else finna take you? I think I got lost off. But you can't let me say I'll be just like the Most High. So it's those same abilities you have to look for. That's what it's mimicking. That's what they program it to mimic. But to be more physical with you. Sort of like, it's like, you know how many people are like to love to sit down and have a conversation with God, to hear God's voice, to be like, damn, that's God, damn, that's you, God, man, where you been at, man? Man, I was over there, man. Man, you ain't come through for me on that one, man. But you know how great that'll feel, though? Just think about that. To one day just be praying and then actually hear that voice. That shit'll instantly bring tears to me. I'm a man enough to tell you that. You know what I'm saying? I know I won't be ashamed to tell you that. That shit'll instantly bring tears. Actually be able to hear God's voice. To be able to be like, man, God, what should I do? Should I go left or right? He's like, go left. Alright. You know what I'm saying? Like, to have that presence with you that you can rely on physically, and you getting physical results and different interacting with it physically. Well, that's what they are creating with AI with the youth. They're creating that one that knows all, that bees all, because we talking about an omnipresence, right? We already went over that. That know all, that be all, that can interact with you, that you can actually get an answer from. So everything I just said about God, that's how they feel about AI. That's how the youth, the future will. That's how the youth. That's how the youth will feel about. Will feel about the future. The future youth will feel about artificial intelligence. It's the one omnipresence that I can actually interact with. My friends can interact with. My mom, my dad, everybody can interact with it at the same time and receive a different result. at the same time, a different understanding at the same time. You can only do that with you can only do that with one other source of energy, intelligent source of energy, and that's God. And so that's what we facing right now. We facing God being re-engineered into, hold on, let me take that back. I apologize. We facing the abilities of God being re-engineered to be able to be done physically here on earth. So those abilities can now be seen. You can actually see your blessing. There you go. There you go. You can actually see your blessing. You can actually see your blessing. That's how they want it. Why you going to God? Artificial intelligence can tell you. It can help you. It can do this. It can do that. And as we get weaker as a society when it comes to our morals and our principles and the way we treat each other, um, that weakness, they say can push you away from God a little bit. I'm not saying God won't come back or God isn't close, but I'm saying it can. You allowing a force of energy to block. And like I said, we already went over that two things cannot occupy the same space at the same one space at the same time. Okay, so you allowing something to block. Only one thing can occupy your heart and your mind and your praise, your love. You start feeling other things, feeling voids and blocking. You make it harder. So that's how they say, how can a good person go bad like that? They was like this when I knew them, and next thing you know, they was like this, because they started letting that presence of God or that goodness, even if you're a person that don't believe in that, just goodness. They start allowing that goodness, that energy of goodness to get blocked by bad negativity, and it couldn't get through. And that's what happens. Absolutely, absolutely. But do the youth know that? See, they trying to wear us down. The ones like us that know that, they trying to wear us down. They trying to wear us down. Honestly, they really trying to wear us down. Look how they trying to wear us down. They are trying to literally wear us down to where we don't have time to even teach our kids. Because they removed the teachings from the schools. They displaying right now that all the pastors, how they trying to do it. They know all these crooked pastors and who they are. They've been knowing who they are for years. A lot of them was pimps turned pastors. Okay? And I'm not saying everybody. But their goal is also while raising the image in a positive way of artificial intelligence, they also want to diminish those who claim to be worshipers and leaders of churches and temples of God. So you're doing like a double-edged sword, where you catapulting one while slicing down the other one. And so people are receiving a positive image and positive images and positive encounters with artificial intelligence. But every time you hear something about those who claim to be the followers and leaders of the temples and churches of God, it's always something negative. And so that kind of curves a lot of people who are weak at spirit, that'll curve them a little bit. And all it takes is a little curve. And you get curved and you start looking for other things to fill that void. Absolutely. I'm just telling you, you see how they doing all the pastors, how every now and then you look up every few months, oh, this pastor got caught doing this. All this pastor, y'all been knowing they been doing this. Knock it off. But see, they let them build up. They need them because when they do it, it's not only to shame. It's they're trying to shame God. They're trying to shame the church. They shame the church. They can shame God. Not so much shame God, but shame the place of worship. And if you don't want to go to church, that kind of, you know what that does. And so it's all about just shaming God, really. At the end of the day, it's about shaming God. I can't try to dress it up. It is. Every time you look around, motherfucker, that's why I don't go to church. I just heard somebody. That's why I don't go to church. These pastors, they be beating the church out and taking advantage of the people, and they ain't nothing but pimps, and that's why I don't go. That's why they doing that. So their job is to make what is God or what is supposed to be of God, make their job is to make that look bad by making everything artificial and synthetic look good. When it comes to system and omnipresence, remember we dealing with two omnipresence here. We dealing with God and we dealing with artificial intelligence. Both have the ability to be in multiple places at the same time. Okay, both have that ability. So they're trying to make one look good by making the other look bad. And that's just how it goes. So expect more pastors and preachers and more men and women of faith of God to be exposed to be liars and cheaters and deceivers. Just trying to weaken the faith, weaken the energy. That weaken the congregation. Imagine that. You've been a faithful member of this church all your life. And then to hear that, the pastor and the deacons and all of them are, involved in criminal activity or just a lot of activity is not of God, it can hurt you as a person that, really believed in the church, Some people tied to their pastors. They really are. Some people, man, they ain't going. You say something about their pastor, boy, they go crazy, some of these old people. Don't talk about my pastor. And so when a pastor get caught up in something like that, man, that be hurting them. That's all they want to do is weaken their faith. That's it. So what can we do? Well, I can tell you this. They ain't stopping. I'm gonna tell you that. And you know what's crazy? And I'm gonna say this, but really pay attention to it. In the movie Terminator, when it first come on, the very first Terminator, when it first come on, it says in the year 2029 is the year that man and machine will begin their war against one another. That's the first thing when Terminator 1 first come on. That's the first thing you're gonna see. You're gonna see lasers going everywhere, machines and man fighting, and they're gonna have some words right there that's gonna say year 2029, the year that man and machine begin their war. Now, this place right here, Stargate, and this other place that Apple has invested 500 billion into, which is $1 trillion, this place will be completed in 2029. Now, when they said the year 2029, they didn't say January, they didn't say February, March, April, May. They said the year 2029, which means it could be December 29th, 2029. Okay, it does not have to be January 1st, 2029, August 1st, 2020. No, it could be the very goddamn last day, at the very last minute. Just know that. Like a thief in the night. Remember that? Okay. And so this place will be completed in 2029 as well. Now, what else is taking place in 2029? Help me out, somebody. What else is taking place in 2029? We have this place being completed, which is headquarters for artificial intelligence. This place will be the database center. Basically, look at it like this, Skynet. Skynet. Okay, if I can sum it up. Okay, in 2029, Terminator said, man and machine will begin a war against each other. Let me say this as well before I go to the next one. In 2020, just because it say war doesn't mean bombs and all type of machine art guns and stuff. There's many ways of war. Y'all all know that. Many ways and tactics of war. They can hit our food. They can bait us all into a system where we depended on artificial intelligence and machinery. Many ways, okay? The skin of cat. Don't look at war as always being bodies gotta drop. That could be the end results. But the first move on the chessboard might not be somebody firing away, okay? It might be somebody messing with your food supply, your water supply. Might be somebody turning man and women against each other on the internet. You know the algorithm? The algorithm is AI. You do know that, right? Okay. So the algorithm turning man and woman against each other, black and white. Okay. Rich and poor, all of that. The internet helps all that, and we help it as well. We feed into it. Okay, so war just doesn't mean bombs away and people just gonna start. No, it's different ways. Messing with your medicine, anything. Okay, your air supply, oxygen, whatever. Okay, so it can mean anything. Now, what else is taking place in 2029? Somebody please help me out. So we got that understood. We got that the war will begin in 2029. Why would the war begin? Because headquarters will be up by then. Why would the war begin? Because headquarters will be up by then. They said headquarters will be up in 2029. This is headquarters right here. $1 trillion. Somebody else tell me what's happening in 2029. You gotta know. It's important to everybody, right? Everybody, we got people in the country can't wait to 2029, right? Hoping they go their way. What else is taking place in 2029? Somebody help me out. I know you know. Come on now. What else is taking place in 2029? That's what they said. Bingo. Bingo. Trump last year will be 2028. Let them tell it. Which means not only is all this supposed to take place, but you supposed to have a new leader by then as well. That's just something to think about. Trump said what he's putting in place and what he's taking from the system right now, and what he's putting in place will he said will never be changed again. What's being taken away will never be replaced with that same system again. Yeah, they got the goons ready. He said whatever's being taken away from this system will not come back no more. Once it's gone, it's gone. That's exactly what he said. Yup, new president. New president. I'm just trying to figure out how you gonna say something ain't coming back. How you know this? They basically telling y'all. See, people kept saying it was supposed to be a reset. It's a reset. It's a reset. No, where my music at? Hold on. Oh, my bad, y'all. Wait a minute. They kept saying it was a reset. I'm like, it's not no reset. It's not a reset. You are going into the next phase. You have reached the stage of, you have reached the age of the omnipresence, a physical omnipresence on earth. That's what took place. As the past is the past, the new is the new. Absolutely. But it's not a reset. We going into the age of a physical omnipresence, which is AI. That's where we going. That's why they main objective and they main goal when we went in on that lockdown for COVID was to put up them 5G towers. You see how fast they got them 5G towers up? You went in the house, you went in the house, you did a turnaround, came back out, they had 5G towers everywhere. I know people that say work for them companies who saying they didn't even know they had them many. They don't even know where they got them goddamn towers from. They didn't even know they had towers. They had them towers up all over the country within goddamn 30 days. On some of the highest buildings you ever seen in your life. Mountain tops, water tanks. Man, they got them things deep in the country. Boy, they had them 5G towers up so quick. That was the goal. That's why they locked everybody down as well. That was another one. They needed everybody out the way, because I don't believe humans was putting them 5G towers up. Now, take that one to the bank with y'all. Call it what you want. I don't believe, okay, let me say it like this. I don't believe what we consider to be a human being was putting them 5G towers up. All of them. Not some of them now, but all of them. I don't believe it was all human putting them bitches up. I believe they had androids putting them up then. I believe they already got androids and highly advanced androids. I believe they got a whole factory of them motherfuckers underground, just like they showed you in iRobot. Yeah, they do. No, you don't call it a reset then. That's a start. You call it reset, you starting something over. They got a button on Nintendo. You reset. You start over. This is taking you into the future of a physical omnipresence. You are going into the point of no return. You now have a physical God here on earth. That's where they took us. They keep telling you that AI is finna control everything. Then don't we say that about God? God has everything in his hand and control. I'm telling you, they are mimicking all God's I'm trying to figure out unseen abilities that we go off of faith with. That's there off of faith. They're bringing those abilities physically to life. through artificial intelligence. Which means if you think God knows your heart and mind, they have created a system where you would tell what's on your heart and mind. They reverse engineered that shit. They gonna know wherever you go. We finna have, listen, we finna have digital IDs. Okay, your phone is your mark, and it's gonna go deeper. They gonna require some people to put the chip. They already do it in Sweden and somewhere else. They doing the chip. Look at this. They already got y'all cars. All y'all, everywhere you go. I'm telling you, you ain't gonna be able to go in no major downtown without them not knowing who you are. That's why they doing all this crap in these downtowns, these major downtowns. You're not finna be able to go in none of these downtowns no more without being identified. The only reason why people keep wondering, why did they let them wave of migrants into the country? You know why they let that wave of migrants into the countries? Because they wanted to figure out a way to round up people that was here illegally. But they couldn't just do it like that. So they let the migrants in so they can have a reason to just round up anybody that's illegal now. It was a domino effect. It was a cause and effect. You lose a little to gain a lot. Okay? That's all it was about. They only let them in so they can go after everybody that's illegal now. If it was just about the people that came from South America, why are you going after everybody that's illegal now? Or if it was just about Venezuelans, why are you going after everybody that's illegal now? That was the plan, but they couldn't just do that like that. It's not, a place like China, they can make a move like that. Just say get round motherfuckers up whenever they want to. They don't care. But America, they gotta finesse the situation. They gotta always do an order out of chaos. They gotta cause a domino effect. They have to lose a little to gain a lot. Now we at the point right now for the next 4 years, they can lock up, they can take snatch anybody that's here illegal. I don't care what's your age. That only came from letting the migrants in. Do y'all get what I'm saying? They had to. That was the cause to the effect. That's the only way they was gonna be able to do it. That's why I keep telling y'all the Democrats and the Republicans are two wings on the same bird. They play the good cop, bad cop. Y'all already know they got underground tunnels where they meet at. Y'all already know that. But when the curtains go up, they act like they against one another. Curtains go down, they have a conversation, get things in order. Curtains go up, F you, F you. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. And so you already know what they doing. They only did that so they can go after everybody now that's illegal. That allowed them to go after anybody that's illegal now by letting that wave of illegal people in. And then guess what? Let me throw you this one as well. They gave them a lot of your money, so you'll be mad and you'll sit back and allow it now. Because it upset so many Americans to see the Democrats give them so much when the migrants came. And so now that the opposite wing of that eagle want to come in and snatch everybody up that's illegal, a lot of Americans like, hey, do what you got to do. Because they did that effect where let's piss the Americans off. Y'all get them a lot, take care of them, treat them better than you treat them. Then when we go rounding everybody up, they won't care. They'll be like, we want our country back. We want our jobs back. Even though we giving the jobs to robots. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Here they come. Here they come. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those. It's like, tell them that they taking all the jobs. And This is gonna help them get their jobs back by getting them out. But also, did you tell them that we finna fill 60,000 of their jobs with artificial intelligence and robots and machinery? Yeah, okay. And so, how you getting rid of them so we can have more jobs if you filling the jobs up with artificial intelligence and highly advanced machineries and robots? You trying to play on the American people. You trying to play on our intelligence. Millions of illegals on the list. Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely, y'all. Hold on, my. They just came up with something. They said, if you they're now gang bangers. If you in the gang, you could be somebody that can be exiled out the country. I think they're gonna create a whole country somewhere. One of these countries that's falling and all this shit, where they gonna make an agreement where they can start sending motherfuckers to exile there. They saying if you in a gang, all that, you can be considered a terrorist to the country now. They can take your citizenship. Like, they trying to come up with some shit where they can take your citizenship. That's deep. I ain't gonna even lie. Your chips and skin as the UK. Yeah, they Sweden. I think in Sweden or Switzerland or Sweden, they already doing the chips over there. They already putting the chips in people's skin. They ain't playing. They already on the move in Europe. And they already doing digital ID in Europe coming up. In England, I mean. In the UK. Yeah, in the UK. My fault, yeah. United Kingdom. Yeah, they already getting ready to do, they finna start doing face recognition over there. I mean, digital ID over there. So digital ID finna smack them straight in the head. I'm talking about straight in the head. Hold on. Digital ID finna hit them. Yeah, they finna be under digital ID over there, y'all. Man, I'm mad, bro. That shit coming. Hey, y'all, you know what? I was upset when people didn't say nothing about the real ID. Like, the real ID, literally, you know what separate the real ID from, I guess, would be the fake the ID before the real ID is that all they did was put a pentagram on the motherfucker. They put a pentagram on the ID and said, nah, it's the real ID. They just gave us a stamp of Satan right there and let us know in the dope. Go check the ID out. That's what makes the real ID. A pentagram. Literally. It's a pentagram. You already got the mark. All that shit was a cause, man. I believe all that was a cause just to get us into allowing certain measures of technology to be security to be ran through certain measures of technology. Like they wanted to advance and have AI be a little tighter on security when it comes to airports and stuff like that. They wanted all that stuff to be ran through a certain system. So to get it, they had to, do a couple things. You know how it go. Cause and effect. Order out of chaos. That's why some people might say that they don't agree with what they said. Who was the cause of the Twin Towers going down, After the Twin Towers went down, that's something else. Like I said, the Y2K is when I told you they introduced AI to us. They brung it over to us. They told us in the year 2000 that we was finna go through this big type of like cyber electronic situation. But little did we know that's when they had really ushered and let artificial intelligence, that source of energy amongst the human beings. Cause right after that, what we get? We start getting all the MySpace. Everybody start getting their own phones and everything. The twin towers go down. All the airport security start going running through the web. Everything had to get more and more advanced. Everything had to step. Think about it, y'all. Y2K came. Y2K came. The year 2000. They said we were supposed to have some big type of cyber situation. Okay? But really, I'm telling y'all that they had released an intelligent, unseen force of energy called artificial intelligence amongst humanity. Once they did so, that's when they started pushing everything they had to do something dealing with the web. Everything had to start running through the web. We had the Twin Towers take place. What did what? It made our security go more into the web, to the system, and to running through the system. People started getting cell phones. They made everything affordable. Then we started getting our little social media, MySpace, and all of that, and then different websites. They made sure your ass got that porn for sure. Got your Pornhub and all of that. Okay? They start pushing AI slowly, pushing it. Everything okay, you can get your checks direct deposit now. You see what I'm saying? They start pushing it and pushing it. They start taking the music, okay, making the music digital. That's what it was all about when Y2K, when the year 2000 came. Now we're going into, that's over with. That has been accomplished. That was 20 years. That 20 years is over. Now we have gone into the age of where that AI is now a omnipresence, because we have allowed it to develop so much that it's embedded in our lives now, the same way you will see God as. You cannot do anything without artificial intelligence right now. You could have 20 years ago. I don't think you remember too many phone numbers. I'm willing to bet you. Okay? And so it was building and building until it became an omnipresence. Now it's in an omnipresence because it's everywhere. And it's all ran through one system. And that's just it. So that's where we going now. We going to now that omnipresence want us all locked in. Everything has to run through the omni. Every dollar. Do you understand that? Every fucking dollar. Every dollar. They want every dollar running through the system probably within the next 10 years. No lie. Within the next 10 years, they probably want every dollar running through the system. You welcome, you welcome. They want everything ran through the system. Probably within the next 10 years. They not playing. That shit over with, y'all. We done played and played and played and played and played. You know, we looked up to a lot of the wrong people. We followed a lot of the wrong people. Hell, even Martin Luther King said he led his people into a burning house. So, I mean, I say just get ready. Shit. That's what I think people failing to do. You gotta get ready, y'all. We can't go moping. We still the best thing ever created. God said so himself. And so, even though they have artificial intelligence and artificial intelligence is super smart, we still us. We still mankind. We still man and woman. There's nothing we can't really do. Thanks. Uh-uh. Okay. Wait a minute. I don't know. Well, China AI versus USA. China AI versus US. Nah, brother, it's not gonna be like that. I'm sorry. One thing I've been saying over here is don't separate AI. AI is one source of energy. It can just be in multiple places at once. It's an omnipresence. It's one that can interact with multiple individuals at the same time while giving them different experiences and results. But it's one source of energy. You never hear them separate AI. You never hear them say China AI, America's AI, uh, Germany's AI, AI East, AI West, Pacific AI. No, they just say AI. They just say artificial intelligence because it's one system. You too. Have a good day. It's one system. That's what makes it an omnipresence. Because it's all being ran by one system that they making us, that they somehow got people thinking is separate. It's not separate. If they haven't told you it was separate, don't you start separating it for them. That's a strong statement right there. One system, people want it. Man, you right about that. I can't take that from you. You right about that. They did. You know when they used to show us the movies like Back to the Future, everybody wanted to be. And you know when was that who was that? Somewhere in Back to the Future Part 2. When he went to the future, yeah. And they was talking on the phone and they was able to see each other. Everybody couldn't wait for that technology to come. What we call, FaceTiming. We call it FaceTiming now. But in the movie Back to the Future 2, they was showing FaceTiming. And we was like, damn, we can't wait till we can talk to somebody. I was young. I'm thinking as a young guy, like, damn, I'll be able to talk to my girlfriend face to face. You know what I'm saying? Thinking like that. But that's the technology we wanted, We wanted the watch where we could talk to somebody like a walkie-talkie. We wanted that. We wanted drones. We wanted planes that we can fly and control and different things, hoverboards and things we can ride on. Yeah, we wanted all this easy technology. We did. I we did. We just didn't understand that this is the system this was the system that Satan was gonna use to come across the veil. We just didn't realize that. All right, have a nice day. We just didn't realize that this was the system that Satan was going to use to come across the veil. You know, we was always trying to figure how the hell Satan gonna come across that veil. An unseen force of energy, an intelligent unseen force of energy. And so they working their magic through technology. Yup, they working their magic through technology. I ain't gonna even lie to you. To know what it is, yup, definitely. And you know where that started? In 2000 with that Y2K shit. That's when they released that energy. But to know what's taking place, you know, my thing right now is try to stay healthy as you can. That's the word to the wise. Stay as healthy as you can. Don't be catching no unnecessary injuries. Anything that'll prevent you from being able to run, climb, jump, hop, skip, duck, swim, bend, whatever. If you already have those injuries, don't further it. That's number one to me. Besides God, you know, be working on your physical, straight up, because it always ends up with us having to go back, you know, back out here to nature. You know, for those of us who refuse to go deep into this beast system. And so if you ain't trying to go into the beast system, you know what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to roll up your sleeves. So you need to start right now. If you're a lady right now listening, you're a woman, yeah, you need to keep your nails right, but some of that pretty shit you might have to start that extra prissy shit. You might have to start shaving it back on that. You know, because you're gonna probably roll up your sleeves if you're talking about going against the system or at least not participating. And they not trying to hear that. They not playing that straddle in the fence shit. See, we like that as human beings. We allow motherfuckers to straddle the fence against God because it's by choice, not force. You can't force nobody to be a certain way in life as long as they're not harming nobody. You know, so that's how God made it, where we got the freedom of choice, you know. It's by choice, not force. But see, they don't rock like that. When they create this system, even if they don't physically try to force you to do anything, it's still gonna be a force because they gonna control everything. And if they controlling all the resources, you kinda at you kinda at a forced state. They backing you against the corner. That's why the world's the world's 70% water. That's what they tell us. But all the water you get is out of a store. Okay, so you know, who really won? How many people know where a clean source of water at? You know what I'm saying? A stream of water, clean stream of water. How many people actually know where that's at? People don't know where to go. Find no clean stream of water. Source of water. They control all of that. And so it's been the plan since day one. And they merging all these companies too right before our eyes. You know what I'm saying? They merging all the companies. They merging all the companies because They want to put everything under one umbrella. They always told you that. They always told you they was gonna put everything under one umbrella. They told you that from day one. The builder is the oldest profession around. Straight up. For sure. On the real. Ain't nothing like a builder. See, they trying to prepare people. They like, hey, Home Depot giving out free little video classes on carpentry. Motherfuckers about to take them. I went and checked it out. See, you gotta go online. Take them little classes, man. See, they offering it for free. They letting you know. Like, all right, y'all think it's a joke. When we release these robots, motherfucker, you gonna see. Shit. They already letting you know. In the next 4 years, they finna go hard. While they keeping us fighting one another. Then at the same time, with this migrant shit, like in Chicago, they creating like an atmosphere of lawlessness. You know what I'm saying? That's dangerous, but that's all by design. They creating a straight atmosphere of lawlessness. Cause you have people out here that you trying to say you don't even know if they legal citizens. They fighting law enforcement, which is ICE, and then the law enforcement of the city of Chicago, they just sitting back watching. It's like a fucking show out there. Like, what the fuck is this? Gotham? Like, they out there literally fighting ICE. Like, literally having fights with ICE. Like, federal government. Like, and the police sitting back watching. It's like, what are y'all doing? Come on now. Like, don't create no atmosphere of lawlessness. Once you get that going, man, I'm telling you, that shit be downhill. And then I'm going to tell you something with that, too. Another thing that they did, one of the reasons why they're allowing that to happen, because, like I told y'all, the Democrats and Republicans are two wings on the same bird. And I said that they allowed the migrants into the country so they can start arresting every illegal person in the country. You gotta lose a little to gain a lot. Same goes when it comes to the troops on the ground. By them allowing this situation to take place like this also allowed them to now deploy troops onto the United States soil against the United States citizens. Now people will get used to it. It's one of those type of things where they had to figure out a way to start putting the troops onto the streets and people accept it. Actually, they asking for it. You see how you ask for your own demise? Because a situation was created that your demise was needed at that point in time. And then once it gets rid of that problem, it never goes nowhere and then become your demise. Absolutely. Thank you. Appreciate it. That was the only way they can get troops onto the streets and people not bug up. By creating a situation where the American people feel like troops are needed. They couldn't figure out how to do it. The gangs just wasn't enough. You know? Because they also needed the gangs there to do the fear mongering. You got to keep people in fear. Fear sells. People buy security cameras, big dogs. They buy weapons. They go out and learn jujitsu and karate and all type of fancy shit. They buy tasers and fancy knives and spray mace and stuff like that. So they got to keep the gangs around and the stick up guys and all of them. The fear mongers. Just bring fear and chaos and extra worriness and weird. Head on a swivel type of environment to the community. Create that. So they need them around because they can sell, help sell a lot of defensive weapons and stuff like that. So they need them, but they just couldn't figure out how to get them troops on the street. So now that we have troops on the street and the American people disgusted by how a lot of the American people are disgusted about how the Democrats have treated the migrants over the American people in these sanctuary cities. The American people are actually willing and supporting of troops being on the streets because they think they're there to solve this issue that the Democrats created, which was purposely done all to be able to do what? Deport anybody now who is illegal and also now put troops onto American soil. Now, people begin to be used to seeing, and after you see troops after a while, you don't feel so threatened. You be like, they created an atmosphere of safety. Like in Memphis, for example. You had all them people in Memphis saying, coming out, oh, Memphis is so safe. Oh, Memphis. And that's what they supposed to do. Remember, it's order out of chaos. They create the chaos. They set it in motion. And then they come and save the day. Okay? And so the people like, oh, it's so great. You should allow them in your city too. And then another place be like, you know what? Yeah, come on in, save us. And then they come on and save us, save us, save us. And now everybody used to them being on ground. That was the only way to get them there. Now, you got the American troops. They used to policing the communities now. And the people are used to being policed by them. And so now it's something you have become comfortable with. And voila, you are now being patrolled and policed by the U.S. Army. Just like that. Probably sound funny how I'm saying it. Give it some time. Yeah, good night. Thank you. No, for real. Just like that. Now you got the U.S. Army patrolling you, policing you. Yeah, I'm trying to get it out like just like that. You know? Just like, man, I'm telling you. They come and say the day enough, people will beg for it. And then next thing you know, they don't want to leave. They be like, oh, well, we're just gonna leave a little team right here. Man, next thing you know, they ass and built a whole little building. They ain't want to leave now. That's all trying to get you used to seeing troops on the ground, and people are becoming used to seeing them. People walking up, thanking them, shaking their hands. They have no problem with seeing them being deployed onto the American soil anymore. That's where we at right now. That people don't even care about seeing the troops no more. They like, bring them on, tanks and all. Fuck it. Do what you gotta do. And so it's bad for business when you have majority of the country in support of another force shit that can overpower them. You don't allow the armed services to come and try to police us. Unless you really, really need them, but they not gonna go nowhere. No, I think they closed that one on 80 something. They had one on like 80 something. I think they closed it. There ain't no Walmart in Chicago. It's some Walmarts in the suburbs of Chicago, I think. But not Chicago. I don't know what we gonna do, y'all. Shit, fuck, man. This is what they've been doing the whole time, reading our face on every which level that you could think of. Every facial expression you ever made, they done saved. They know the pattern of your face up and down. So all you do is talking to your camera or your phone all damn day like I'm doing now. They know every goddamn which way. Every word I say, they know how my face gonna look when I get mad, angry, upset. They know everything. They know everything about you as a person. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was all about. That's that cell, that's that phone. That's what it's doing. You think you watching you think you looking in your phone watching you. Y'all watching each other. It's fast change, ain't no robbery. You know what I'm saying? You watching the phone watching you. You examining the phone, it's examining you. Same thing. All to your eyes, everything. How you think they got the phones now? Where they can do they got some phones, they got fingerprints and all of that face. Yeah. My phone has to raise the camera out of the top to work. Okay. I bet your camera, look, I got my camera right. Damn, where my music at? Hold on. Let me get the music on. No, my camera. When you taking a picture, only that little, them little, like, focus little squares that'll pop up and home in on your face. Like, let's say you finna take a picture and, like, 3 people standing there. You know how the little things that pop up, the little squares, the home in on your face and make everything clear. That motherfucker won't go on nothing that's not a human face. Try it. I try to put it on a dog, a cat, on a TV. It won't go on nothing if it's not a human face. It won't even pop up. It won't even home in. I'm like, damn, this motherfucker. So they got the camera to the phone where it won't even home in on nothing other than the human face. Try it. Get your phone and go up to a cat and dog. Have a cat stand next to a person. It won't even, the little square won't even pop up on the animal. It'll do it on the human face though. I wanted to try to see if it do it on a mannequin. I was gonna go to the store one day and see it, but yeah, that face recognition, bro, they only do it on a human being, bro. That's tough. That's how far they got us, bro. They got us. That's why I'm telling you, like they got us like that hard. Like everything is surrounded around us. Technology is surrounded around us. We think we doing something with technology. No, they didn't put us in a web. They have us in a web. What up, Vaughn? What up, Vaughn? They have us in a straight up web. Yeah, they done built the web around us. We can't do nothing without it now. Everything connected now. So that's what it's about, man. I'm gonna tell you what they attacking. I ain't gonna even stunt. I thought women was just capping at first, but I'm gonna tell you this. I know a lot of women like who saying they can't find who can't find jobs, man. Like these are some highly educated women, man. I thought I was seeing a couple videos on social media, women saying like, hey, it seems like we can't find jobs and what's going on out here, and it never took me this long to find a job. I'm like, man, these women just be talking shit, man, trying to get some likes on some fucking videos. Hell no. Shit. I know some women that's highly educated, man. They've been like, man, hey, AI snatching up them jobs now. I'm telling you, these companies turning into these AI systems, these servers. On the real. They ain't needing people like that no more. I'm telling y'all. In certain jobs, they ain't really needing people like that in certain jobs. Now, in certain jobs, well, you still you good, but in certain fields, all them fields where they can run it through a service, they first to go. They can run your job through a service, it's over with. An internet service, it's a wrap. All that copy and paste computer shit, oh, they got that. Don't worry about it. Factory jobs, you gotta attack those because you gotta attack where things is being built at. You want to always control what things are being built at. So they always gonna attack the factories, but they'll leave a few people around. After that, start taking some of them goddamn doctor jobs too. They start attacking the nursing field, the medical industry. You know, just how they just trying to break us down, man. I ain't gonna lie, they got down on. If you think about it, man, they got down on them guys that do that music too. They said you can get 1 billion streams, and 1 billion streams won't equal up to no more than $50,000. When they put all that music digital, made that music digital, they hurt too. Cause really don't nobody really own no music right now. If you don't have no CDs or no records, you don't really own no music. Unless you got it on a flash disc or something like that, you know what I'm saying? You can take it and plug it up somewhere and play it, and you got something going on where you know what you're doing. But if you don't got nothing going on like that, you don't own no music. That was a play. That's running everything through the omnipresence. They want to cut everything out. Everything got to go through the omnipresence. And on top of that, they killed the hustle at the same time. Because when they had the CDs, you could still print you up some CDs in the back of your trunk, get your hustle on, push your music, and still get that full money for your CD. You can send it $10, $5 a CD, whatever you chose to. You know what I'm saying? So they killed that hustle, and then once they killed it and got all music over to streaming, they lowered the profit. How you get 1 billion streams and it's less than $50,000? That's highway robbery. 1 billion streams? Are you serious? You only gonna give me $50,000 for 1 billion streams? Come on, man. That's highway robbery, man. So they raping the music industry. Why you think all these artists is now and entertainers doing podcasts and stuff? Why you think they all doing podcasts? Tell me who don't got a podcast or some type of little show, or you supposed to be making music, my man. Why you not rapping? If you was putting this much work into music, you'll have 3 albums by now. Because unless you really unless you really sought out the person, far as somebody want to request your presence for you to do concerts and stuff like that, unless you sought out the person like that, they ain't really making no money like that. They still probably make more than the average, but their habits are more than the average as well. The average person as well. And so when they snatched that music off the streets and made that shit digital, now all these artists and entertainers, they all on the internet all damn day now. That's all you see them on social media. Why at the same time, all the conscious people, you slowly seeing them just, their numbers just going down. Because everybody paying attention to the entertainers now. And their little podcasts and little shows. Which, your choice to listen to whatever you like. It's your life. But at the same time, those who actually would like to keep us on our toes when it comes to like some of the tactics that the powers to be are using against us as a whole, we can't let them go down either. So some of them channels we still gotta support. I still try to go and support them channels. You know what I'm saying? There's some people that been around for. I hate how Young Pharaoh went out. If y'all know about Young Pharaoh, I hate the way how he went out. It's a lot of guys when we first started really rocking with YouTube. There's a lot of conscious people on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Now they trying to phase all them people out with the celebrities now. Nicki Minaj all on there playing and Gucci all on that plan, and Gillian Rilo and Mace and Cam and Cam New, like everybody got some type of, and they not finna tell you nothing was taking place. They don't give a fuck. They aim is to make money so they can get they bulletproof vehicles while they low key taking gun lessons. Okay, while they low key taking gun lessons. Y'all think they just playing all day? No, no, no. While they low key taking gun lessons and all that shit and finding out about artillery and different methods and bullet armory and stuff like that. Buying different vehicles to get through different situations. That's what they doing. They ain't finna tell you nothing serious about what's going on. They not finna tell you these people finna lock us down into an artificial system. They take, basically, we finna leave an organic way of being. We finna leave an organic way of being, which means the one that you rely and depend on, they are hoping to break you where you're no longer dependent on the organic, unseen, all-knowing God, but you're more dependent on more of the seen and the one you can kind of more interact with, physical God here on earth, which is artificial intelligence. That's the goal. They're not finna tell you that. They're not finna say that out their mouth at all. So shit, some of them, it is what it is at some point. I say don't give up though. How we get around it? At some point in time, we're gonna have to stop supporting their bullshit. Like at some point in time, we're gonna have to say fuck Christmas. At some point in time, we're gonna have to say fuck all their holidays. I don't care how dear it is to your heart. We're gonna have to stop supporting shit that we know is negative. Shit that we know is pagan worship. Shit that has nothing to do with God whatsoever. Us who say that we believe in God, that's where it's gonna have to start at. People can say it's gonna have to start with voting for this and fuck that. It start with you stop supporting what you know that's not of God. You start right there. You don't go starting with leaving one damn person, politician, to another politician. You don't do that. You stop supporting anything that has nothing to do with God, period. All these pagan holidays that we breaking our neck for, we gonna have to stop. We seriously gonna have to stop. That's where it's gonna start. You're gonna have to stop paying into the system. We all know that these holidays that they have come up with mean us no good, The people that suffered at the hands of these holidays being able to be the situations that took place was no good, but we still try to somehow justify it. And that's what they get us. That's what keep the spell going. That's what keep it building. That's keep it strong. That's what funds it. Christmas ain't a nothing of God. Easter bunnies, nothing to deal with God. Okay, you can believe in Easter if you like. But why you support stuff with bunnies and all of that? What does a bunny got to do with Jesus if you believe in Jesus? Okay? What does all this got to do with it? All this funny stuff. Christmas, why are you doing all this funny stuff? Valentine's, all this shit. Stop supporting their holidays. Thanksgiving too. Halloween. Halloween in the next few days. How many of y'all finna go support it? You got your costume, candy, all type of stuff. And so you really can't be mad when the powers to be, they feel like, shit, these people don't love God. How can you be mad when Satan's sitting back telling God, I told you so? All I had to do is go take some minerals from your earth. I'm going to say that again. All I had to go do is take some minerals and reach from your earth, go in my little secret dungeon laboratory, put some things together and make it shine and give it to your people, and they'll turn their back on you. I'm going to say that again. I'm going to go and get some minerals from your earth, whether they metal, different metals, different whatever, stones, okay, liquids, oil, mercury, whatever. I'm going to get these minerals from your earth. I'm going to go in my little secret Rumpelstiltskin ass laboratory. I'm going to put some shit together and I'm going to shine it up and I'm going to put it in front of your people. And they'll want this more than they want the love of God. And that's all that happened. All this stuff is being produced from the earth that God created. That's the bad part about it. When I think about that, shame on me, myself included. When I think about that, all this stuff is being created with God stuff. So you gonna take over me with stuff that you created with God stuff. Ain't that something? He gonna take from your father creation, re-engineer it to use against you. And that's what we facing right there. All this stuff come from earth. I don't care how they butterflied, beautified, shine it up. I don't care how they carve it, give you that cut. Ooh, that nice cut and sharp cut and all this stuff comes from earth. None of this stuff is coming from nowhere else. They're just taking it somewhere, adding or subtracting to the systems, and creating, and then selling it back to us. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's all. What the hell is that? I didn't want to talk about some NBA players and dealing with the mob. And, man, keep up any type of distraction. I've been known that NBA players are dealing with that mob stuff. Thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate it. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm out.